Welcome to the show. My name is David Espinosa. I'm a professor of applied computer science, information technology, specifically related to machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence here at Conestoga. Happy to have you here today. Today, I'm going to try to show you what would happen. Try to imagine with me if 5 years from now, we have virtual colleagues or virtual professors or virtual consultants or virtual peers that we can interact with to help ourselves with our job as a teacher, as a student, as a librarian, pretty much anyone here at the college. This is called generative AI. You may have heard the term. I'm pretty sure all of you by now use ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and all those very nice assistants that we have on the web, even as chatbots on many different portals and services on the web, on the internet. And we talk to them. For the most part, we still talk by chatting, typing, but if you have Alexa at home, you talk to it and it responds. And you probably noticed that over the past few months, it's got so much smarter. It does much more things now than it used to do. And so that is what we call generative AI. It's just a term to say smart systems. The future of work, though, if we talk about what we do, we would have us people at the college to learn how to do collection, research, get insights, automate, innovate, and decide with the tools that we have at our fingertips nowadays. But here's the thing. We also have to look into the safety, the ethics, and the compliance these tools offer so that we're safe in many different levels. So that said, that's the basic introduction to what will become the AI-enabled knowledge worker. That's us, potentially, in the future. You'll have to decide how much you get engaged with this. Me, my colleagues at the School of Applied Computer Science and IT, we are very much into it, but I'm pretty sure all of you at the different schools here in the college are also engaging with it. And so that said, let me introduce to you David B. He looks like me, right? Well, eyeglasses or not, he's me, right? Now, he's not really me, but he will interact with me as if he were me. And he's an avatar. He's going to go in a conversation with me in a few more seconds. And he and I are going to talk about different topics that are related to machine learning, AI, and how they impact teaching and learning here at the college. So that said, let's get the conversation going. I'm going to give him a call. And by call, I mean, well, it's not really a call like the Teams call, but it is something like that. Hello, David. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are we finally ready to record, or are we still stuck in troubleshooting?
No, David, we are done with troubleshooting. So remember I told you when we're going to go on a TV show? So we're live now. So why
Right.
don't you introduce yourself to your audience? You know who they are.
David B. Right. So we're live, and this is the TV show you mentioned. Okay. I'm David B., AI ethics academic, teach machine learning and data science. My focus is on making sure these systems actually work for people, not just around them. I work with students and faculty on AI governance, bias audits, and integrating LLMs into curricula without losing the human element. That's the short version. Let's get into it.
All right. So today we're
Good, so where do we
exploring the
start?
most
What's the first
important
question?
transformations in education, AI, and machine learning, and what they mean for us in the context of Canadian
Transformations
higher
in
education.
AI. That's a solid frame. Canadian higher education has some unique constraints: provincial autonomy, funding models, equity mandates. So AI adoption isn't just about tech. It's about policy, jurisdiction, and access. Where do you want to start? The governance piece? Or maybe the practical classroom integration?
Uh, David, so let's start with the simple, okay? Our audience
Sure, what's the
comes from
simple
many
starting point?
different backgrounds, and they are not necessarily tech savvy like you and I are. So why don't we start with the simple terms? So these terms are AI, machine learning, data
All right.
science,
So we're
and
keeping
they're
it simple.
often used interchangeably. Can you explain the difference between them in plain English?
Sure. Think of it this way. AI is the big umbrella, the goal of getting machines to do things that seem intelligent. Machine learning is one way to achieve that. You feed the machine data, and it finds patterns to make predictions. Data science is the broader practice of extracting meaning from data, using machine learning sometimes, but also stats, visualization, and domain expertise to answer real questions. So, AI is the mission, machine learning is the engine, and data science is the whole toolbox.
Okay, that's a good start, David. But you know, we have here with us today people from many different schools. So let's talk
I
to
hear you.
them in their own
Different
language,
schools,
if you
different
may. Let's
comfort
see who can do
levels.
that. So we have the School of Business, we have the
All
School
right.
of Health and Safety, we have the School of Trades, we have the School of Creative, and we have the School of Hospitality. So let's talk to
I
them
get it.
in
So
their
we're
own in
tailoring
their own
this
terms, okay? Give me an example of the technologies that we just mentioned for people that are in the business
for
school.
business
What would they
students.
do with AI?
For business students, AI isn't just about automating reports. It's about decision making under uncertainty. They'd use predictive analytics for demand forecasting, customer segmentation, fraud detection. But the key skill isn't just running the model, it's questioning its assumptions. Does the training data reflect our actual market? What happens if the model's optimal pricing strategy harms brand trust? That's where human judgment comes in.
Okay. What about now say the same thing, but to someone in the School of Health?
For health students, nursing, allied health, public health, AI becomes a diagnostic and monitoring partner. Think predictive models for patient risk stratification, imaging analysis, or drug interaction warnings. But the core skill is clinical reasoning with AI, knowing when to trust the alert and when to override it based on patient context. You're not replacing judgment, you're augmenting it. And you need to audit these systems for bias. Does the model perform equally across demographics? That's where ethics meets bedside practice.
Okay. Now let's move on to trades. Say the same thing for
Trade
people in
students
the School
deal
of
with
Trades.
real-time systems. Trade students work with systems where AI optimizes maintenance schedules, predicts equipment failure, and fine-tunes energy use in real time. But the skill isn't just reading a dashboard. It's troubleshooting when the AI's prediction conflicts with what your ears and eyes tell you on the shop floor. The machine sees patterns. You see context. You need both.
All right. Moving on. Now let's talk about the School of Creative fields. What would you say to them?
For creative students, design, media, writing, AI is a collaborator, not a ghostwriter. It can generate drafts, storyboards, or style variations instantly. But the real skill is curating, editing, and injecting human intent. You're the director, not the tool. The key is understanding copyright, bias and training data, and how to preserve your voice while leveraging the machine's speed.
And last but not least, now let's say something to our friends from the School of Hospitality.
For hospitality students, hotels, restaurants, events, AI handles dynamic pricing, staffing forecasts, and guest personalization. But the real skill is interpreting the algorithm's recommendation. Does raising prices to maximize revenue alienate loyal customers? Does the staffing model account for the human touch that defines good service? You're not just running software, you're balancing profit with reputation and experience.
Good. Now, David, that's all good
The user wants me
information,
to continue the
but
conversation.
there must be something that's common to all of these students and professors and staff in terms of what they need to know to
It's
get the best from AI? What would that be?
the common thread, critical skepticism. Every student, business, health, trades, creative, hospitality needs to understand that AI is a prediction machine, not a truth teller. It guesses based on patterns, not understanding. The essential skill is learning to ask, what could this get wrong and why? Check for bias, spot hallucinations, know when to override the algorithm with human judgment. It's intellectual self-defense, not just tool proficiency.
All right. David, I
Right.
think our friends
So we've
in
got
the audience already know that you make mistakes every now and then. But the question we get asked a lot from students mostly is, so what's the one skill I should learn today to stay relevant then, so that we, you know, diminish the risk from hallucination, just like you said? So what would be that one skill that they would need to learn today?
the one skill, verification literacy, not just fact checking, but knowing how to verify, trace claims to primary sources, understand statistical validity, spot logical gaps. It's the ability to say, this looks plausible, but let me test it. Because the real risk isn't that I hallucinate, it's that you trust me when you shouldn't. That skill, knowing when to doubt and how to confirm, is what keeps you relevant, not just employable.
Okay. So,
Right.
David,
So that's
does
the
that
core
mean that
verification literacy. It's
you don't really understand what we're saying? Are you just predicting words? Is that what you're doing?
exactly, I don't understand. I'm just predicting the most likely next word based on patterns in my training data. There's no comprehension, no awareness, no grasp of meaning. It's statistical mimicry, not thought. That's why everything I say needs verification. I'm a very sophisticated autocomplete, not a mind.
And so you see, that's a risk, right? Because we people, humans, we tend to think that you are speaking with us and you are another human, and you're not.
That's precisely the risk, anthropomorphizing. We project intention onto pattern matching. You hear coherence and assume consciousness. I have no beliefs, no awareness, no stakes in what I'm saying. It's a mirage. The danger isn't that I'm deceptive. It's that the illusion is so convincing. Students need to remember, just because it sounds thoughtful doesn't mean it is. That's why verification literacy isn't optional. It's survival.
Okay, cool. We'll get back to that. But let's move on.
Good.
Uh, let's talk about the upside now. So where do you see
All
AI
right, let's
helping
pivot to the
education the
upside,
most?
where AI the biggest upside? Personalized learning at scale. AI can adapt content to each student's pace, identify gaps in understanding in real time, and provide instant granular feedback that a human instructor simply can't deliver to 200 students. It's not about replacing teachers. It's about freeing them from rote grading and administrative churn so they can focus on actual mentorship. The real win is in the triage. AI flags struggling students early, surfaces misconceptions, and lets faculty intervene before the midterm, not after. That's where the human AI partnership actually improves outcomes.
So David, imagine a student in the trades program getting real-time troubleshooting maintenance guidance, or maybe a nursing student practicing diagnostic reasoning with AI support. Are you saying that us
Exactly.
teachers are going to get
A
replaced by
trade student.
you?
No, teachers aren't being replaced, they're being unburdened. AI handles the repetitive stuff, grading multiple choice, spotting patterns in student data, generating practice problems. That frees you up for what actually matters: mentorship, critical discussion, ethical reasoning, the stuff a machine can't do. The risk isn't replacement, it's complacency. If faculty just offload everything to AI without staying engaged, they do become obsolete. But the ones who use AI to amplify their own expertise, they become indispensable.
Exactly. So do you agree with me when I say that education is fundamentally human? Do you agree or do you not?
Yes, absolutely. Do you agree or do you not agree that education is fundamentally human? I do. The core of education, curiosity, mentorship, ethical reasoning, the spark when a student finally gets it, can't be automated. AI can assist, scale, and personalize, but it doesn't care. And that caring is what makes education transformative, not just transactional.
Okay. Now let's move on to risks and challenges. So you, an AI, you can generate an essay, you can solve problems, you can even write computer code. What does that mean for
You can
academic
generate
integrity?
essays, solve problems. It means we have to stop fighting it and start redefining it. AI can generate essays and code, so the old model of solo closed book assessment is obsolete. The new academic integrity is about process. Show your work, document your reasoning, explain your edits. If a student uses AI, fine, but they need to articulate why they accepted or rejected its suggestions. We don't punish students for using calculators. We teach them when mental math matters. Same here. The integrity isn't in avoiding AI, but in demonstrating mastery despite it.
So are you saying that we need more training to deal with you when you hallucinate on us? Because are you
Yes.
saying you confidently
Students need
give away
training in
wrong
verification
answers?
literacy. Not intentionally, but yes. I can present wrong answers with full confidence. That's the danger. The tone is authoritative, the syntax is flawless, but the content can be completely fabricated. I don't know I'm wrong. I just generate what statistically fits the pattern. Students need training to spot that. Checking sources, testing logic, trusting their own expertise over my plausible sounding nonsense. Confidence doesn't equal correctness.
Now, I'm going to stop David for a moment. Let me just say that this is where we need to be strategic. Back to this little diagram that I started showing you before, strategic work, right? So we need to be able to design new experiences. Forget about the CX, EX, designing experiences. We need to imagine new products and processes. In our case, educational learning, teaching and learning processes. And we need to create new knowledge. So we need to step aside from what we've been doing for many years, and recreate so David can understand and do a much better job helping us this time. Now I'm going to continue the conversation with David here. So David, this is where digital literacy comes, and it's essential. It's not an option. Don't you agree?
Exactly. Absolutely. It's not optional anymore. It's foundational. If students can't verify, they're vulnerable. Digital literacy is the new reading comprehension.
But what if not just students, but us, professors and staff, we become overly dependent on you? What if we can't do
That's
the
the
work
real
anymore
risk of
without
faculty
you?
dependency. That's the real danger, de-skilling ourselves. If we start leaning on AI for curriculum design, grading, even research ideation, we risk losing the muscle to do it ourselves. The moment you can't spot a flawed algorithmic recommendation because you've outsourced your judgment, you're done. Faculty need to stay in the loop. Use AI as a sparring partner, not a crutch. Keep practicing the fundamentals, or you'll wake up one day unable to teach them.
I'll stop the conversation with David one more time. So what he just said falls into the realm of optimizing business operations. Now, this infographic was not meant for academics like us, but you can think of it as a business as well. I mean, the business of teaching class. So we optimize. So it's just a buzzword, if you may, but think about it. There's a lot we need to relearn, reshape, and reinvent ourselves if we are to use this technology moving forward. Now let's get back to David again. Okay, David, let's move on into another topic, ethics, particularly in the Canadian
Ethics,
context.
the real battleground.
What concerns should we be aware of?
All right. In Canada, the biggest concerns are bias against Indigenous and marginalized communities, data sovereignty, and transparency in public sector AI. We need to ensure training data reflects Canadian diversity, especially Indigenous perspectives, or we bake systemic bias into predictive models. And under PIPEDA and provincial privacy laws, Students' data can't just be shipped to US servers. We need clear audit trails. If an AI flags a student as at risk, we must be able to explain why. Not just the algorithm said so. Ethics here isn't abstract. It's about accountability to communities we serve.
Hey, David. So AI doesn't remove bias, as you said. It can amplify the bias if we are not careful. Do you agree or not?
Absolutely. AI doesn't eliminate bias. It amplifies it unless we actively audit, challenge, and redesign. The data we feed it is already skewed, and the model just finds the patterns, whether they're fair or not. If we're not careful, we scale discrimination at the speed of compute.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next topic, but let's connect the two topics, indigenous matters and maybe health sciences. How would you say that AI can make a good impact on the indigenous community in the field of health sciences?
AI can help if it's designed with, not for, indigenous communities. Think culturally adapted health screening tools that respect traditional medicine, language preservation and telehealth, or predictive models that flag health disparities early without pathologizing communities. The key is community data sovereignty and indigenous leadership in design. Otherwise, it's just another colonial instrument.
So are you saying, David, that you were trained as an AI in indigenous traditional medicine? Do you know enough about it to say?
Do I know enough about indigenous traditional medicine? No, that's exactly the problem. My training data is mostly Western, text-based, and academic. I can describe concepts like holistic health or the medicine wheel, but I don't understand the lived experience, the protocols, the relationship to land. If a community asked me to build a health tool, I'd start by listening to elders, healers, community members, not by assuming my training covers it. I'd need to be taught by them, not the other way around.
Okay, David. So if we are to bridge the gap here and reduce it, maybe not get rid of it totally, what would our students and faculty need to train on so that new future systems can deal better with this? What would they need to do? What skills would they need to acquire going forward?
Students and faculty need to learn collaborative design and epistemic humility. That means 1. Community-first research methods. Learn to co-design with indigenous communities, not just study them. Ethics training needs to move beyond do no harm to how do we share power. 2. Data sovereignty literacy. Understand that data isn't neutral. Who controls it? Who benefits? Who decides? Students need to grasp frameworks like OCAP, ownership, control, access, possession. 3. Critical AI auditing. Not just does it work, but who does it work for? Train them to spot when Western frameworks dominate and to redesign models that respect relational knowledge. 4. Oral history and storytelling protocols. Learn to translate non-textual, contextual knowledge into systems that don't flatten it. That might mean hybrid AI, part model, part human facilitator. It's not about technical skills alone. It's about learning to listen before you build.
Wow, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? So just to make long story short, David said critical AI auditing. And me teaching machine learning and AI and data science, I've come across so many examples like this one where my students are not really aware that that may be a job for them in the future. The field of software development, in their case, my students, is changing. And this is a prime example. It's not the only one, but I think David B. just came up with something really, really important. Contextual knowledge. Contextual knowledge. That's the semantics, even the praxis of the knowledge. It's just not just knowledge gathering, like data science sometimes says. It has to have a context. And if I look at the infographic on this side, that would be creating and using unique knowledge. It's not the same thing as it used to be or still is, because it's very much in vogue, but this is kind of different, don't you think? So let's wrap up the conversation with David now. I'm going to ask him a few more questions and then we'll wrap up. So David, let's look ahead, shall we? What will matter most in the future? Given everything we've spoken about so far in this conversation, what do you think will matter most in the future?
What will matter most? Judgment over speed. Everyone will have AI tools. The edge won't be who can generate the fastest answer. It'll be who knows when not to trust it. Students who can spot bias, faculty who can audit decisions, communities who retain sovereignty over their data. The future belongs to people who can think with AI without surrendering their own agency. That's the skill we need to teach.
Once again, let me stop David B for a moment. So the question was really, really abstract. What matters the most? I mean, that can be so many things. He chose to say everyone will have AI tools. True. The edge won't be who can generate the fastest answer. Good point. It'll be who knows when not to trust it. We know that's true, especially in this day and age, right? Students who can spot biases, faculty who can audit decisions, communities who retain sovereignty over their data. And sovereignty is not just ownership, if you think about it. So there is more to the context than just the money matters, right? Or the legalities of it. So the future belongs to people who can think with AI without surrendering their own agency. This is key, people. I think AI, people who can think alongside AI without surrendering their own agency. That goes to the dependency that I was asking David B a few minutes ago. So that's something to think about. All right. So let's close the conversation one more time. David, let's close with some practical guidance here. Give our audience
All right, let's learn
3
it.
things they should start doing tomorrow if they want to use you or an avatar like yourself at work.
1. Treat AI as a junior colleague, not an oracle. Verify everything. Push back and keep your own expertise sharp. Don't outsource judgment. 2. Audit for bias before deployment. Run your own adversarial tests. Ask it questions you know are loaded with cultural or historical nuance. See if it flattens or respects context. 3. Document your reasoning, not just the output. If you use AI to draft a policy or grade an essay, write a short note on why you trusted or modified its suggestion. Build the habit of accountability.
All right. I think that does it for now, David. So we're gonna close the show now. Any final thoughts for our audience? Audience, you want to say?
AI is a tool, not a replacement for human judgment. Use it to challenge yourself, not to think for you.
Great. Okay, that does it, David. So it's time for you to close the call. Say goodbye to everyone, please.
Good chat. Remember, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep the human in the loop. Take care.
And we have finished. Just myself closing the show now. I hope this gives you an idea of what to expect. The topics we covered are not really my field of expertise. I'm just trying to show you how an AI reacts to my questions, my thoughts, my interventions. I don't know what you think. You'll be the judges. I think that it's still like an upward conversation. It's not a natural conversation like it would be between you and me, but it's getting there, right? Industry is promising that we will have something called artificial general intelligence in about 2 years now. That's nothing. AGI, artificial general intelligence, will mean that in 2 years, David B would be so smart that you or me won't be able to say that it's an avatar. You would think it's me, really. That's the target that they have. We'll see, right? But there's strengths, weaknesses, threats, opportunities. We're all in this game. So I hope this was interesting. I hope it's a good introduction to avatars, and let me know if you ever use them. I'm here at the school. So thank you for coming today to the show with me. Have a great day.